What's up guys, Tricks Ridiculous back with another video, and in today's video I wanted to look a little forward in time and start to get you thinking about how to play this game when new multiplayer content comes out. We've seen a little bit of footage of what the Clone Labs looks like, and I can already tell you it looks like it will require some coordinated play, maybe not too much, but definitely more than we're currently used to in this game. Now, I don't know exactly when Clone Labs or the Omega level threat missions or whatever the next big end game thing is coming, but what I do know is when they do come, they will be multiplayer only content, so you're not going to be able to go in by yourself with your companion AI. You're going to have to either have a pre-made team or you will be able to matchmake, but either way, you're going to be playing with other players. Now, right now, everyone's character in this game is built for playing solo and really just kind of being the biggest badass they can be for themselves. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with that right now because that's what the game calls for, but I wanted to kind of get you thinking and kind of get, a few things you should be prepping for yourself to get ready for playing with other players consistently in this type of content. Now, before we do, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. It really does help the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is elements and the battery effect. Now, right now, the majority of players have built their characters with two elements. One element as a setup, and the second as the payoff element. Now, these, of course, have to be opposing elements to get the battery effect. So, one of them has to be either Pim, Plasma, Cosmic, and then the other one has to be either Shock, Cryo, or Gamma, okay? Now, usually the setup element is something you can apply very easily to your target, while the payoff should be the element that you use on your primary attack. For example, having Cosmic on Scattershot for a ranged Kate Bishop, or Pim on Signature for a melee Thor, just as a couple of examples. But what you should start to think about is, for a coordinated 4-player team, is that not everyone needs to be the one applying the battery effect for their character. And, having a team of players all kind of trying to apply different elements for their own setups can lead to, maybe some confusion on the battlefield and leaving some damage on the table. Okay, now the most common and the easiest elements that can be applied as a setup element is Shock. Okay, and it can be applied easiest with Black Widow, Thor, and Iron Man. Of course, Widow with her Widow's Bite automatically applies Shock, Thor with his God Blast, and Iron Man with his Arc Overload. All of those immediately apply Shock to anything they hit. So therefore, you should seriously consider making sure that whatever character you play uses either Pim, Plasma, or Cosmic on your primary damage dealing skill and avoid using Shock, Gamma, or Cryo on those. Therefore, you'd be letting one character on your team be kind of the team's designated element setup character, and then everyone else can use all of their payoff elements in unison to make sure every single person is getting the battery effect for maximum single target damage. All right, the second thing is defense. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Defense is going to be absolutely critical to successful team play, especially with a new modified version of Challenge 4 coming back soon. My guess is that we'll all want to be playing on the hardest difficulty to get the best loot, and defense will be mandatory. Now, I'm not talking about having one dedicated tank on the team, such as a Hulk or a Captain America. I'm just not sure how well that will actually work based on how short the duration of the taunt mechanics are in this game. I don't think that having one character like that can carry the team from a tank perspective. But what I do mean is just having more defense on whatever character you're playing, no matter who that is. A lot of what we've seen from clone labs will involve players holding down points and making sure that they can hold down points in coordination so other players can, do other elements of the objective. And glass cannon builds will have no place in a coordinated team like that. Okay, don't worry about doing the most damage. I promise you, having a 4 human player team, the enemies are going to be dying. Not everyone has to be a pure damage dealer, but having 4, human team members, they're going to get the job done. Okay, but if you're consistently dying, you're getting one shot, you can't hold a point because you have no defense. You're not going to be beneficial to the team. You're going to be hurting the team. You're going to want to make sure you pump up that defense so you can hold some choke points and make sure the objective-based, objectives can get done. All right. The third thing is Orb Generation, specifically Heroic Orb Generation. Now, the Ring of Nebelung is, in my opinion, the best artifact in the game. But most players will tell you that it's only really useful on characters that can create a lot of orbs. So, for example, Hulk, Captain America, Black Widow, and that is true for solo play. But I assure you, those characters already produce many more orbs than they can possibly use, which leaves plenty for the rest of the team to grab. Therefore, I believe that the Ring of Nebelung will further rise up as the absolute best artifact across all characters. So definitely make sure, even if you're playing characters that don't normally use a ring when they're playing solo, try to pump a few polys into your Ring of Nebelung. Imagine playing a Thor or a Ms. Marvel wearing a Ring of Nebelung, teaming up with, say, a Captain America or a Hulk that is just spawning, nonstop orbs like crazy for the team. Being one of those other characters and being able to get your abilities back even faster is going to be absolutely invaluable to the team. All right. Characters like Cap and Hulk that can generate those high volumes of heroic orbs are going to be irreplaceable on high-end team comps, and the Ring of Nebelung specifically across all characters will make sure that everyone is getting the maximum benefit. And in my opinion, that will far outweigh the boosts that any individual character gets from, a Nornstone or a Tactagon. All right. And the last thing I just want to talk about is loadouts, right? So as far as we know, these are not gear locked activities, meaning, the gear that you bring in, you're not stuck with for the whole activity. So don't be afraid to have a few extra loadouts in your back pocket. Bring some extra defensive gear and ISOs. Bring some extra offensive gear in ISOs, just in case you think you might need to make a switch mid-mission during the cloning labs. Everything that I'm telling you here in this video is kind of just a prediction, but it can't hurt, and you're not going to hurt yourself by just holding on to some extra pieces of gear just to make sure you're ready for all situations. You can always switch it in and out if you find out that, what you brought into the lab in the first place is not working out. So definitely be sure to kind of pack a few different things for when it does come out. Anyway, that's all I've got in this video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe. Follow on Twitch and Twitter as well. Links in the description, and I'll see y'all in the next one.